All right, ladies and gentlemen, after my long hiatus, I think I was only gone for 2 weeks for weekly predictions, but I'm back. Welcome back, everybody, to our NFL weekly predictions, second to last week doing this. It's literally crazy to think that we are already almost at the end of the year. Obviously, this would be the last week, but there are now 18 weeks. So today we are doing our week 17 NFL predictions. I am joined, as always, by my fantastic. Well, we're only joined by one today, unfortunately. I wish we were joined by two, but I'm joined by Dylan Shallum, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be going over our week 17 picks. Going over all the games. And guys, we've been doing a ton of podcasts recently. We've been doing a ton of content on Instagram, TikTok. We literally post so many videos. It's like slightly ridiculous. That's because we're over Christmas break for this. So for this next week, make you guys do stay tuned to the channel because so much content will be coming out. But without further ado, we'll get into the records. Not much has changed. Charlie and Suraj stay tied, which is going to have a very, very interesting end. Week 18, it's getting close. This is going to get really.
It's going to be very interesting.
It's going to be very.
If they end with a tie, what are we going to do?
Yeah, I know. Nothing, because I don't know what the reward is. I don't know. I think it's just bragging rights if you win.
It's just bragging rights.
Yeah.
But
and then me and Dylan, we've basically stayed the same. It's been 7-5, 5 to 7 game gap. Not much has changed.
Yeah.
Me and Dylan basically go the same. We have the same record each week. We were both 7-4 this week. So. I've started to become a little bit more risky with my picks, going with a little bit more. And I really think, especially me and Dylan were talking about this before we recorded, the amount of how there's just no consistency in this league with the Patriots now losing, which is a team you thought would be really good. And then the Packers, although they won, Baker threw 4 picks and they only won by 2 at Lambeau. So it's really on any given Sunday. And then the Texans put 40 points against the Chargers. Like I really just don't know what to tell you. This is probably one of the most up and down crazy seasons we ever talked about. Dylan, we were talking about the Dolphins started off 1-7 and now will be the 7 seed if they win tomorrow.
It's unbelievable, honestly. And I think the only thing we can really count on is the Jaguars being horrible. That's pretty much it.
I think that is actually it. But let's get into game number 1. Thursday night
it's not Thursday. It starts on Sunday. It starts on Sunday. Once it gets to week 15 and on, the schedule just gets really hectic.
You're right. But so excuse me, I may get these wrong. I haven't actually looked at the record.
I'll let you know what times the games are. I got them.
So Sunday, is this 1 p.m.? This is just the first.
1 p.m. Starts up at 1 p.m. Yeah.
So I was going to say Sunday night. I usually like saying Thursday night to start, but Sunday football, 1 p.m., the regular slate, the first slate of games, kind of when the real, a lot of, large amounts of football come around. We have the Jaguars and the Patriots. And funny, we're talking about the one thing you can bet on is the Jaguars not being, a good team. And I think today it's tough for Trevor Lawrence. I think it's something not a lot of people have been talking about how poor he's been. He has not been good. And he got beaten by the number 2 overall pick today in Zach Wilson, which is disappointing. Am I wrong? I don't know why. The Jets, this is the first time that the two faced off, right? I don't know why. I feel like the Jets
played each other in preseason. That's the reason.
Not preseason. Okay. So again, this is a very, very good game. I think the Patriots coming, now on a 2-game losing streak. Obviously the shortened week because they played the Colts Monday night. And now obviously they lost to the Bills, which again, Dylan, we were talking about. I think I had the Patriots winning. I think a lot of us had them as a favorites. It's the Bills looked like a team that were, in a very, very hectic situation. They went out and they executed. And it's so funny how they split the games, but each team won away. It's just this league is crazy. I'm going to go for the Patriots. Again, I think the only locks you can really say confidently now are probably the games against the Jaguars, unless it's like a Jets or Texans. But I'm going to go for the Patriots here. I think, again, any given Sunday, but I trust Mac Jones and I trust, Bill Belichick to go and get a win, which is going to be needed. I mean, now this is the playoff race is starting, they want to get that first overall in the division, and with the Bills overtaking them now, this is actually a big game for them. And I think they'll go and execute.
Yeah, I actually had the Bills winning this week, and I will definitely have the Patriots winning this. Mm-hmm. This season really just epitomizes the saying any given Sunday. We really don't know what's going to happen. We keep emphasizing it because it's very true. But going into this one, Jaguars just don't have any firepower that's going to be able to take down the Patriots defense. So even though they gave up a lot of points this week, they are still a stout defense. And other than Ramondre Stevenson, I don't think they had any COVID losses. JC Jackson got injured this week, which was a big loss to them later on in the game. But there's no reason that they shouldn't be able to take down the Jaguars. The Jaguars have just they've just proven that they're not able to handle anything really. So
yeah, not to mention that now James Robinson will be out ruptured.
James Robinson, that's
terrible.
That's really sad.
They just
really
can't
sad.
catch a break.
He was
Urban Meyer.
It's a Cinderella story for that dude. He was an undrafted pick. He made his way up and he made his way into being a top 10 running back. And it's really sad to see him go like that. It's going to be a year-long recovery.
Who knows? Cam Akers came back in 5 months, but
Cam Akers' injury apparently is nowhere near the gratitude as this one. This one's
really?
They're saying 1.5 year recovery time. It's really bad.
Well, but, obviously, prayers up to James Robinson.
Prayers up to James Robinson. Yeah.
Let's move into the next game, where we have the Falcons and the Bills. Bills now have the hot hand, obviously first in their division, but they're going to want to keep pushing here because, again, this is going to be a tail-to-tail race. It's going to be close. Again, it's going to go to week 18. Both of these teams will be playing their starters in week 18 and week 17. Yeah. And obviously the Falcons coming off a win. Also, they now have
Atlanta's right in there. They have in there.
They have 8 wins, right? No, they have
7 and 8. 7 and 8.
They were 6 and 8. Yeah, so Atlanta going, and they beat
they beat
the
Detroit
Lions today. Yeah, sorry, excuse me, I had the Lions. But the Falcons again. I think we haven't been giving Arthur Smith enough credit. Someone who I said going into the season, offensive mind going into a team that's classically had defensive kind of minded coaches, and we see this team flourish. I believe Kyle Pitts got his 80th reception this game. I think he had more, but I know he had his 80th reception early in the game, so he's been fantastic. Matt Ryan again hasn't been that 30 touchdown guy. I'm not sure what he's on pace for, but hasn't been, Matt Ryan every season. He's not the MVP, candidate. He's not something, but Matt Ryan, what he's been doing each year. And this year, I feel like definitely been a little bit more quiet, which I think is probably a part of this Falcons team kind of success and how hasn't been terrible, but hasn't been great either. And then obviously on the defensive side of the ball, they've been great. AJ Terrell, who has snubbed the Pro Bowl. I think we'll have some rage towards Stephon Diggs in this game. But I'm going to go for the Bills in this one. I think they push on. Again, I think the Falcons could definitely play upsetter in this one. I wouldn't be surprised if the Falcons went on and beat the Bills in this game, but I'm going to confidently give this one to the Bills. I think the Patriots and Bills will both win, and I think it's going to come down to week 18 in this division.
I'm actually a little bit tempted to take Atlanta in this one because they've been really working out the way to stay underground. And if they're going to make the playoffs, they can't just be staying underground. And that's the type of team I think they are. I think they're a team that can qualify for the playoffs. But Buffalo's on too much of a hot streak right now. They just went out and they beat the best team in the AFC potentially. And were able to do it relatively convincingly. Now that they're going to maybe get Cole Beasley back, which is a key piece to their offense, it's going to be a lot easier for them to pass against less stout pass defense. So I'm going to go with Buffalo, but Atlanta, you are in the back of my mind. I think you guys are going to get that 7th spot, and I'm genuinely recognizing you guys as a talented team. So just putting that out there.
All right. Both going Bills. Next game, we have the Bengals and the Chiefs. Chiefs clinching their division. And the Bengals, obviously, that was Joe Burrow, 525 yards, 4 or 5 touchdowns. Again, it is really any given Sunday. This year has just been, it's been like not stereotypical, but Joe Burrow before the game, the Ravens defensive coordinator says, we shouldn't be giving Joe Burrow a golden jacket. And then Joe Burrow goes and puts up 525 yards. I don't know if have a quarterback thrown for 500 yards this season yet in a single game.
I don't think so this season.
I don't think so.
I think maybe Brady once, but
yeah. And he was fantastic. They put up 40 against a Ravens defense that is not good. And then the
very
Chiefs,
injured.
Yeah, and then the Chiefs, that game, I think that game might still that game's over, but that game might still be going on, and that was just a rout. They were so intimidating, seemingly, to the Steelers that Deontay Johnson caught the ball and just threw it down. I don't know if you saw that fumble. He caught it.
I did. Yeah.
Which is unfortunate, obviously, for Deontay Johnson, poor breaking. And the Steelers, you talk about up and down teams, arguably the most up and down team in the entire NFL. They win, and you're like, okay, wait, maybe this division, maybe they can go in and make the playoffs, and then they get absolutely embarrassed. That being said, the Chiefs are the hottest team in the NFL right now. Kind of rekindling that Super Bowl light, which I think they will probably go on. This Chiefs team, I think, arguably is the Super Bowl favorite right now with the inconsistency, and the Chiefs seem like the only team that have been able to maintain consistency, which is so funny because I think if you're a really good team and you have a ton of inconsistency in the beginning of the year, it's almost better. Look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers last year. A lot of inconsistency going into that bye week, and then you work it out, and it goes on. So I wouldn't be surprised if this is a prophecy of the Chiefs going on winning the Super Bowl because of that. I'm going to go for the Chiefs here. The Bengals, I'm not sure. Again, this is a very close division, and they haven't clinched it yet. So this is a very important game. I was going to say, I don't know if this is a huge game for them, but it is. I think if they win this game, then they clinch. I'm not sure. This division is so confusing because every team is really close, but the Steelers are still in. I don't know. But I'm going to go for the Chiefs in this one.
Yeah, the Chiefs have been excellent in the last couple of weeks, and the Bengals really popped off today against the Ravens. But what's it called? The Chiefs' defense is really what I want to highlight.
It's so crazy. I don't know what's happening. It's good and
it's
then
weird.
terrible and then good.
No, it's really good because other than the Chargers game, I think they've given up less than 30 points in the last 5 games.
You know what the game changer is? It's Chris Jones.
It is 100%. I was going to get there. Chris Jones has been absolutely critical at stopping the rush and getting to the quarterback. So with him back in the lineup, and having a veteran presence in him, and Frank Clark being back as well is critical for them as well. But the pass rush and the run stop have been there, and it gives a little bit of a safety blanket to that secondary who they don't need to fend off deep passes all the time anymore because they're able to get to the quarterback more often. But for my prediction for this one, I'm going to go with Kansas City. You can't bet against Mahomes on a hot streak. You can't bet against the Chiefs in the late parts of the season. And as good as Joe Burrow was today, that was against a very injured, almost a practice squad of the Ravens. So I don't think it really bears as much of a impressiveness as one might think. That being said, 525 yards and 4 touchdowns is unheard of, so you got to give him props for that. But Kansas City, I think, are just the better team all around, and coming off a huge win against the Steelers, will be coming into this one to win.
Yeah, and it was 4 touchdowns. Sorry, 143.2 passer rating.
Unreal.
That has to be the highest this entire season.
More than 100 better than Mac Jones.
Yeah, that is crazy. All right, let's move on to the next game where we have the Colts and the Raiders. Interesting one. The Raiders, they went and beat the Broncos, and now I believe the Raiders are 8-7 now, and the Colts, I mean, talking about the hottest team, I think the Chiefs are the hottest and the Colts are right behind them. I will say this, Colts fans, I would not be too excited. I think the Colts success and just, entire like the success in season relies too heavily on Jonathan Taylor.
I completely agree with you.
I think the stats are absurd. When he rushed for over 100 yards, I'm not sure what the record is, but I know when he does not rush for 100 yards, they have not won a game yet. They're 0-8.
They are. No, I think 0-7. Sorry. Or
0-7.
Yeah.
Whatever, no wins. And then the Raiders, obviously, the Raiders are again, it's the Raiders are having the season. Talking about the teams that are on, how this season has been so unpredictable. The Raiders have been pretty predictable. Start off really good, and they're kind of, I guess, to be fair, they've kind of weathered the storm of that midseason,
craziness,
or craziness. And obviously all of the terrible things that have gone on within their franchise this season, giving them credit. Obviously, they're still in that playoff race, and with the Chargers losing, it's big. But the same, I'm going to go for the Colts again. I want to stress this. Jonathan Taylor, to me, the too much relies on him. And I think that is something that Colts fans should keep in the back of their mind. To be fair, Michael Pittman looked great. Wentz looked really good. I think a big thing with the Colts is they finally found the guy. And a big thing for Wentz is they found that guy where when there's 2 minutes, 3 minutes left, he can go and win us games, which I think he showed yesterday in Scottsdale. And then, so I'm going to go for the Colts here. I think defensively, they've been really good. I think they're a pretty rounded team. Hopefully they'll have Darius Leonard back, which they were missing against the Cardinals, and going up against a weaker Raiders team. I think they should handle it pretty well. Not a great defense or defensive line run stopping game either. So I think Jonathan Taylor should be able to eat. But I'm going to go for the Colts here.
I'm going to go with Las Vegas here, actually. And I'll tell you why. It's because they let Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon run for a total of 7 yards today.
Oh, well, maybe I'm completely wrong. Really? I know they're good passers. I know Ngakoue and Crosby have the highest pressure rate. Or
that was the fourth quarter. I'm gonna get you guys that stat. I'll probably bring it to you somewhere else. I can't exit this screen right now. But they held them to very, very minimal yards. At some point in the fourth quarter, they were at 7. I'll let you guys know what it was. But they were unable to run the football, and when your defense is being able to do that, especially against a team that is a run-first offense, just like Indianapolis, that carries into the next week.
Javonte Williams ran for 12 yards.
Yeah, and Melvin Gordon?
Melvin Gordon ran for 12 yards and 7 attempts. He still had a touchdown, 2 catches.
Yeah.
Melvin Gordon ran for -4 yards.
Yeah, so 8 yards total.
Yeah.
So you put that up against Jonathan Taylor, that turns into 55 yards maybe. But
yeah, but again, any given Sunday, I wouldn't.
Any given Sunday, and I think that's even more of a reason for me to pick the Raiders. They've got the hot hand. They have a solid offense. Hunter Renfro's been quietly a top 15 receiver this year, and I think Darren Waller's back for them next week. Derek Carr has been really good for them. Josh Jacobs is always going to be slept on, but the defense is really what I want to highlight. The secondary has been able to put up with every pass attack that's been put against them, other than Kansas City, and the rush defense just held one of the best running back tandems, in my opinion, the best running back tandem, to 8 total yards. So putting that into play against the Indianapolis Colts, who have a very minimal pass offense, and Jonathan Taylor handles about 90% of their offense, they're not going to be able to handle it. Give me Las Vegas.
All right, let's move into the next game where we have my New York Giants against Chicago Bears, 2 teams that are just waiting for next year. The Giants hold both are the Bears' first round pick this year. Again, the Giants. I'm a Giants fan. If you guys follow us on social media, see my reactions. They announced that they're bringing back Judge and Jones for 2022. So at this point, I'm waiting until 2023. This team will not have success with him as our quarterback, and then with Joe Judge as our head coach. Neither of them. And it's just maybe Joe Judge, but I mean Daniel Jones to me, it's just terrible. There's not much to say, and I know this is a game prediction, but this Giants team, it needs to be figured out, and I think. It's obviously just sad. Obviously, this Eagles game to me, I don't like it was 3-3, and then the Eagles put up 30. Again, Mike Glennon, attribute that to him. Obviously, Mike Glennon is not the answer. I don't, Jake Fromm, Mike Glennon, they were both in the game. And then the Chicago Bears, did they? Oh,
they won. They won.
No, they won. Sorry, they did win.
They won.
Yeah, they won.
They got that crazy Dymere Bird catch. Yeah, they did win.
That's posted on our TikTok if you guys want to go see that. That was crazy. They go and beat the Seahawks. We'll get into the Seahawks later. This is a tough game. I feel like the Giants generally play the Bears each season. And I think my most memorable one was 2 years ago when Saquon Barkley hurdled. I think it was Taj Gibson. That's not a football player. That's not a football player. Deshaun Gibson, excuse me. Taj Gibson, the Knicks player, not the right person. But yeah, on New York. That's why I said it. This is a tough one. My whole tone just went down when I talk about the Giants. I'm gonna go for the Bears here. Foles looked good. I think it's so funny. Foles was the kind of the third guy. A ton of people were advocating to let him play, and he goes and wins them a good game in Seattle with the snowy weather. Although, to be fair, the Bears are fantastic in bad weather. I'm going to go for Chicago here.
I'm going to go for Chicago, but for none of the reasons you gave. I think that Justin Fields is going to be playing for them next week. He'll be back from his little knock. But the Giants have just not been able to eradicate the cancer in their organization. In my opinion, that is Joe Judge. Daniel Jones is not the problem. He is a problem. But here are some things that Joe Judge has said this season, just for kicks. I just want to let you guys know. He said, first one, punting can be aggressive at times. That was one of them. I found that very funny. The second one is it's not all about results, which that's a good thing for a Pee-wee high school coach, Pee-wee or high school coach to say. But in the NFL, it is all about results.
Not even high school.
Yeah, not even high school. And then the third one is that Nate Solder has been excellent this season. It's a hard one to put him in that situation. You can't just go and say Nate Solder's been terrible, but just a blatant lie there. And either way, that was just for fun. I'm picking the Chicago Bears because they've proven that they're able and capable to win games. They know that they don't have a good draft pick this year, so they're not going to think about losing. And the Giants, with Jake Fromm, Mike Glennon, they've been able to put up, I believe, 1 touchdown in the past 4 weeks with those guys in. No, 2. Sorry, they had the Elijah Penny touchdown. Mm-hmm. But they've been horrible, just absolutely terrible.
Yeah, all right. We'll move on to the next one, where we have the Jets.
Moving on to another horrible New York team.
To be fair, Zach Wilson has his best game of his career today.
Easily. Although
maybe
Tennessee,
that Bengals game.
Tennessee,
yeah.
Bengals
the best play
White.
of his career. He had the most defining play of his career today with that big run. And again, we have our, in our group chat, I was talking about it. He finally looked smart, and he looked like the Zach Wilson we saw in BYU. That's a little bit contradictory, but he looked like a we saw him make decisions that weren't, I want to go and get a 90-yard touchdown and chuck it up. He was getting his checkdowns, going through his progressions, and I think using Braxton Berrios very well. He had a great game. And then Tampa Bay, they clinched their division, routing the Panthers after getting shut out the week prior by the Saints. Tom Brady not going to get shut out twice. He went and destroyed them. I'm going to, give Brady the win here. I will say this right now. The Jets could win this game. The Bucs, if I'm the Bucs, I'm not starting a ton of my players. If we clinch the division, the amount of injuries we've had, who knows? Maybe I'm not starting Brady. You know what I mean? I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't go Brady. So if I'm the Jets here, I think that this could definitely be, you know what? I'm going the Jets. I'm picking the Jets. I'm picking the New York Jets. I have nothing to lose. There's no consequence. I'm picking the New York Jets. I don't know. Any given Sunday, this is going to be the upset game.
I am picking Tampa Bay.
All right.
Yeah, I think we know the reasons. They have a better roster. They have a better coaching staff.
Right.
They have 1 seed to play for.
Right. Sorry, never mind.
But honestly, any given Sunday, though, I've said that too many times in one video. If you guys want me to stop, let me know on live tonight. We're going live tonight. I'm telling you guys this way after. Yeah. I apologize now. But what's it called? Tampa Bay.
Sorry, I'm flipping my switch. Tampa Bay. I forgot.
Okay.
I don't know why.
All right.
I just there's very important things I just forget. Like today, I posted a TikTok about my Madden career where none of my players made the Pro Bowl, but it's because we were going to the Super Bowl. DeAndre Swift, my running back, had 1,888 yards and didn't make the Pro Bowl, and I was like, "How?" Yeah. So never mind. That's Madden. But
anyway, we're moving in.
Tampa Bay. We both have now. Titans, Dolphins. Not very interesting. I think the Titans will go and win this game. I think the Dolphins will probably come off a win against the Saints tomorrow. We're recording this as of Sunday night. But I think, again, the Titans are a better team, and I think a defense has definitely stepped up. I think Tua struggles against good defense. I mean, I think Tua struggles regardless, but I'm going to go for the Titans in this one. I think that they will shatter Dolphins' playoff hopes.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm actually going to have to agree with you here. But Miami Dolphins, absolutely incredible in the past 7 games. They've been able to beat terrible. They've been able to beat terrible teams, and they haven't seemed to have much of a problem with it. And they've gone and won a couple good ones against the hot Panthers and the hot Ravens. The Panthers. Panthers were hot at the time. They were hot at the time, but unfortunately, I don't think they're going to be able to deal with the return of the King, which is most likely slated to be in this week, and that's the only reason that I have the Dolphins losing this game.
Oh, thank God for my fantasy team.
So, yeah. Also, I'm not going to have to eat the chip, thankfully.
Yeah, the punishment is our league. You have to eat I don't know, it's called Pocky, the world's hottest chip. So
yeah, I'm very much still in it. There's 2 legs. I'm not going to tell Owen he's done, but
yeah.
A sigh of relief because Mark Andrews has saved me 2 weeks running now. But I'm going to give this one to the Titans because they have all their guys back from injury. John Williams, the unedited on published video, team physician, has worked his magic for them. But Miami, as much as I want to give you guys this one, you haven't proven you can beat a good team in a while. I think Tennessee's going to be able to take you down. Doesn't take them out of the playoffs. They still have a chance. But it puts a lot of pressure on them to beat New England the following week. Give me Tennessee, unfortunately.
We will move on to not an interesting one.
I think both of these teams are done.
Yeah, right? I believe the Panthers are. I think the Saints are still in it if they win tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Saints are definitely still in it, actually.
Yeah. And then I think this will be another game that they're still in it. I don't know how the Saints are winning. I don't understand how they're winning with Taysom Hill. It doesn't register in my brain. And they beat the Bucs. They sweep the Bucs. That makes no sense to me, even with Jameis Winston.
Buccaneers must have. The Saints must have the Buccaneers. Playbook.
I mean, I will say this: Sean Payton is a fantastic coach.
Yes.
So that's a big
pays
part.
his players to injure the other team.
Yeah.
But.
Oh, okay. Again, this game I think is going to be. This game I think will go up to coaching. The Panthers have been rotating Darnold and Newton. They both just look so bad.
I actually kind of disagree. I thought Darnold looked all right for the first half, but after that he fell off.
Yeah,
so.
Okay, maybe speak for yourself. Cam Newton, to me,
Cam Newton, absolutely
just
not.
looks terrible. I think it'll be outcoached by Sean Payton, Matt Rule. Starting to trend down a little bit, starting to be on the hot seat. Obviously, as Joe Brady was fired a couple weeks ago.
I think they're going to reshuffle.
Yeah, so I'm going to go for the Saints here. I think, again, they're going to be the team pushing for playoffs. I think they're unfortunate. They're just, at the end of the day, going to have more hunger to go out and win this game. And, I mean, if they make the playoffs at Taysom Hill, I'll shave my head.
All right. We've got two bets on shaving heads that are now finalized and solidified in public video. So that's really fun. But what's it called? I'm also going to go with the New Orleans Saints. And I kind of feel bad for this because I really respect everything that Carolina's done. It's been a really natural rebuild. They've never tanked. They've never looked like they're absolutely incompetent. But they've been able to get those mid to early first round picks, and they've hit on those picks. But it's just unfortunate that they haven't been able to work out who their quarterback should be. And I believe that's what they're going to do in this next upcoming draft or offseason, depending on the availability of Deshaun Watson. And we'll get into offseason stuff in the offseason. We honestly probably thrive on the offseason more than the regular season. But
nah.
No, maybe not. Yeah. But I'm going to go with the Saints here because they're still in the playoff race. And they have something to play for. Panthers don't have a quarterback, don't have an identity at the moment. Give me the Saints.
All right, we will move on to the next game where we have
this is a huge one.
And this is a
huge one.
The Eagles coming off a fantastic win. Now the Cowboys clinched the division, so the Cowboys clinched the division. I don't know how, because
it was a strength of schedule tiebreaker.
Yeah, right. Between them and the Eagles.
I believe Washington, because the Raiders beat Washington earlier in the year.
Yeah, right. And now the Cowboys we're going to be live. We'll rewatch the live stream. But we're going live for that Cowboys game. I think a game the Cowboys will most likely win. And again, this is a tough one. I think Washington, to me, just lack that kind of drive and that kind of end of season push. And the Eagles look like they might have the legs to go do it. And I think the Eagles might have the legs to go get that wild card spot. And I think I'm going to give it to them. They look fantastic. I mean, putting up 34 points against a Giants defense. Well, yes, it is not a good defense. It's a defense that can cause turnovers, a defense that can disrupt teams. And I think Jalen Hurts will go and win this game. Dylan, I know you like Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts. And I think this season, if they make the wild card will only prove why he's their franchise guy. And I would be very excited because I know the Giants can't make it. I don't think the Giants can make the playoffs anymore. No, they can't.
They've been eliminated.
Yeah. The team I like is the Eagles. So I would hope, again, I'm still a Giants fan, but the team I would like to see go and make a push to Jalen Hurts and this young Eagles team, especially with their coach, who's been fantastic. So I'm going to go for the Eagles in this one.
I know a couple of Giants fans who will crucify you for saying that. Talking about my brother in particular, he hates the Eagles. But
I have no hate. The Cowboys I don't like. Besides that, I don't have.
I hate the Jets and I hate the Patriots. The Bills are annoying, but those two really stand out to me. I do not like them. Yeah. But I'm going to go with Washington here, because I think Heineke's going to be back from his hiatus, and I think that Philadelphia, while they absolutely flattened the Giants, it was only 3-3 at the half. And I think,
exactly. That's
I think Washington is going to be a team that if Philadelphia can't put up points, they will put up points, and they're not going to be able to get back into the game until it's too late. So I think with McLaurin playing tonight, I think he's going to have a little bit of a turnaround game. It's just a gut feeling I have, and needing for him to do well in fantasy feeling I have. But well, not really needing. I'm kind of already eliminated in that league, but fantasy. McLaurin. Anyway, Washington's going to win this one. I think Philadelphia, they have their set of issues. They're very, very inconsistent, as are Washington, and it's honestly a toss-up. But I'm going to go with Washington because I think they're able to put up more points earlier in the game. Philadelphia won't be able to get back from it, and Philadelphia have taken a while to adjust in certain games this season. Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. Let's go on to the next game. We have the San Francisco 49ers going up against the Houston Texans. The 49ers losing to the Titans on Thursday Night Football. Deebo Samuel looked fantastic. I think the problem was Kittle, and then Garoppolo, decision-making wise, wasn't great. And the Texans went up and put 40 against the Chargers as Davis Mills continues to push to either be the starting quarterback for them next year or on a different team. He's looked great. I mean, something that stands out to me is his arm and that ball placement has been pinpoint. Putting up 40 points is no joke. That being said, I think the Niners will roll here. But again, the Texans have been playing upset. And I think this Texans team, as much as the dysfunction, Deshaun Watson, Brevin Jordan looks really good. Nico Collins, the rookie out of Michigan, looks good. Rex Burkhead looked good today.
Burkhead.
And then defensively, again, still letting up 29, but I think, this Texans team is definitely on the up. With the draft picks they have, I think the Texans will be right into that kind of 2017 Texans team. They were that wild card team. Maybe that was 2018. I think it's
2018.
Yeah. That was game against the Bills, right? In the wild card.
Yeah, Deshaun Watson got his eye poked and he threw a really nice.
No, that was against the Raiders. That was that. The wild game against the Bills. It was when he got hit from the back, really hard and just didn't fall. So I'm going to go for the 49ers nevertheless.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Niners as well. Texans don't strike me as a team that could win 2 in a row against 2 good oppositional teams. Mm-hmm. The Niners will come back pretty hungry after their loss to Tennessee. It's a disappointing one, but they have the pieces that are available to win, and they will most likely be able to utilize Elijah Mitchell, which is very important for them, as Houston were not able to handle Justin Jackson. So I think San Francisco has everything that they need to win this game, and it's whether or not they do it, which I'm not going to tell you definitively because what is the NFL? But I'm going to go San Fran.
All right. So move on to the next one where we have a divisional game, Chargers, Colts, both big games, both teams losing. That was huge for who's that huge? That was huge for the Cowboys, right?
Huge for the Dolphins.
Or the Dolphins, excuse
me. Huge for the Dolphins.
Yeah, huge. Yeah, again, that was a big game. Obviously, Chargers losing and Broncos losing. I don't have much to say in this one. I think the Chargers will win. The Broncos to me have flipped to the 49ers of early season, where I just haven't heard much about them. They haven't been very good. And a team I haven't really talked about much. And I think this Chargers team is simply better, and I think they're hungrier. The Chargers big loss today. I mean, lose to Texas. That was a game where all right, we're gonna go win that. That's not one we have to worry about. And losing that game, I think, was really a big hit to the just. It was just a big hit to that team. You don't want to lose to a Texans team, especially when you're chasing a playoff spot. So I'm going to go for the Chargers here. But if the Broncos win, I think this Chargers playoff hopes might be out the door.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with the Broncos here because the aforementioned failure to run the ball in the game against Las Vegas is not going to be a problem for them, as the Chargers got absolutely shredded by Rex Burkhead. They have the worst run defense in the entirety of the NFL. They've given up the most yards, the most touchdowns, the whole deal. And I think with Javonte Williams and Melvin Gordon able to completely utilize that to their benefit, they won't have to throw the ball that much, and the defense will be able to put up with anything that Herbert and company are able to throw at them. Austin Eckler will most likely be back from his COVID exposure. That being said, it doesn't mean that he's going to have a bigger impact on the game than Justin Jackson did. So I'm going to go with the Broncos here. I really believe in what they have going for them defensively. I'm not going to say I believe in Bridgewater, Drew Lock, or Vic Fangio for that matter, but I believe in the defense that they have and the running back room that be able to carry through this period of time. Excuse me for 1 second.
All right, while Dylan does that, we'll move on to the next one where we have a very, very good game. We have the Rams and the Ravens, both our teams. Obviously, the Rams winning this week and taking the top of that division with the Cardinals loss to the Colts at 11-4 as the Cardinals sit at 10-5. The Rams obviously pushing for a potential number 1 overall seed. I don't know. Yeah, they could.
Yeah.
The Packers lose out. And the Ravens, again, it's been really unfortunate. I think obviously down to their third stringer today, Johnson, who was on the Jets. He played with the Jets.
He played against the Colts earlier.
The Colts, yeah, and he looked really good. I remember that it was really funny. He looked really good. They all have Lamar Jackson type quarterbacks. They're all very mobile. Obviously, if you guys haven't already, go check out our video right before this. It's our Tyler Huntley video. It's one of our podcast clips where we talk about why he might be a starter, why he should be a starter. I'm not sure if Lamar Jackson will be back. Again, that's a huge decider on if they can win this game. I think Huntley, if Lamar Jackson is not back, should be back from COVID. I don't know if he has it.
I believe Lamar should be back.
Yeah, I believe Lamar should
from
be
his
back.
injury.
Nevertheless, I think the Rams will win. Defensively, they've been great. Offensively, they looked good. I think a very, very funny thing. The Lions won today, or not the Lions, excuse me. The Rams won today. You can take Stafford out of Detroit, but you can't take the Detroit out of Stafford as he threw 3 picks today.
He didn't look good at all
today.
He
didn't look good. So this is definitely one I think the Ravens could win, and I think it's tough. I'm going to go for the Rams. I think the Ravens have a very, very good chance of winning this game, though.
In pure NFL fashion, we're shaking things up. We're going Ravens here. I think Lamar coming back. I've picked them 3 weeks in a row, and they've lost all 3, which is kind of why I'm still down in the bottom of the prediction ladder.
Yeah,
but I do believe in what they – actually, no, I don't. They're too injured. Give me the Rams. Sorry, I'm going a full switch up on you. I thought about it.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp versus this secondary. I'm sorry, absolutely not. And then the fact that Cam Akers might be coming back in this one.
It's going to be a rout, I think.
This is – I can't believe
we both just contradicted the
I cannot believe I even thought about picking the Ravens.
I can't believe I just said that the Ravens have a good chance.
Yeah, give me LA. No questions.
All right, we'll move on to LA, hopefully moving to 12 wins. Another fantastic game, and it just gets worse for the Cardinals. Obviously, now after going 7-0, they are now 3-5.
You want to know something crazy?
No.
I think they might miss the playoffs. Nah. They can't.
Yeah.
They can't.
Yeah.
They might, but they can't.
Yeah.
That
does okay.
They could 100% lose out.
Yeah.
That's 100%.
Who do they have after this?
San Fran.
Yeah. Tough end of year. Cowboys, again, big decision, because if they don't play well tonight, make sure you guys go back.
Oh, no, sorry, LA. They have LA, not San Fran.
Yeah. Make sure you guys go. No, they don't. They already played LA twice.
No, they played San Fran twice. LA.
No, they played LA at home, at LA 1, and then LA played the Cardinals at home and won.
No, because I know San Fran's played LA twice because, they might play Seattle in the last week, though. I know it's divisional. Yeah, now I need to know.
Last week, the Cardinals play the Seahawks.
Okay.
The 49ers play
they'll make it then.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a big decider on how the Cowboys play tonight, so make sure you guys go back in time and watch our live stream.
Please.
But no, I think this is a really tough one. I'm gonna go Cardinals.
All right.
I don't know. That's all I gotta say. I'm gonna go Cardinals, but it's very, very pessimistic.
I'm going to go Dallas, but it's very tough. I'm going to go Dallas because they're on a hotter streak than I think anyone else in the league at the moment. I think
this Washington game tonight is going to be a huge teller of. Yeah,
because I think if Dallas is able to rout Washington, I don't think we're going to really even be thinking about this as a conversation. But I think Washington's going to be able to put up a game. It's going to put doubt in people's minds. But I think overall Dallas's defense is going to be what puts them over the line. Kyler Murray, while he looked solid in the first half, he did not look like a polished quarterback at all in the second half when the going got tough. So it really put some doubt into my mind as to where I rank him. I always like to do rankings, as most NFL fans do. And before yesterday, I believe I had him as my quarterback 5, and I think I trended him down towards 7 after yesterday, for who cares. But Dallas have not seemed to have a problem moving the ball offensively, and their defense has generated a generous amount of turnovers. Sorry about that. And I think they're going to be able to take advantage of the weaknesses that the Cardinals have, especially without DeAndre Hopkins there.
Yeah, and we'll move on to the next one now, where we have the Lions and Seahawks.
No one cares. Next.
Yeah, I'm completely fine with doing that. I think the Seahawks will win.
I'm gonna go with the Seahawks.
All right, thank you guys so much for watching that one. All right, we're gonna go on to the next one. Another fantastic
Sunday night
one. Vikings and Packers. Packers obviously now at 12-3 after the not very convincing win against the Cleveland Browns. So I think it just makes this game a lot more interesting in terms of really who do you think will win. The Vikings losing to the Rams. The Vikings still are kind of that fringe team. I'm not sure how that. I think this game.
If Mike Zimmer wasn't their coach, they'd be a very, very strong contender for like a strong playoff push. But Mike Zimmer's lost them so many games.
Yeah, this is. I'm gonna go Packers, but. I don't know. It's very, very tough because I feel like to me at the end of the season, to me, it goes to which team needs this win more. Sways me a lot. But I think it'll be the Packers.
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Green Bay as well, and it's for honestly no other reason than the fact that Green Bay is going to go into this game thinking we cannot let Minnesota sweep us this year.
Yeah.
So I don't think that they're going to – I think they're a better team also, but usually I'd go and pick the upset here because that's what the NFL is. Mm-hmm. But Green Bay's got that motivation on their side. They have very little COVID downside right now. They've been relatively safe with that other than their earlier exposure, the immunized conundrum. That's definitely not how you say the word. Get your boosters, everyone. Mm-hmm. We at TheeSportsScoop, we really promote vaccination.
Yeah.
All right. I was about to say something now. I'm not going to. I'm bringing back that. But I'm going with the Packers, yeah.
All right, move on to the next game, last game of Week 17.
Why do we keep putting the Steelers in prime time? They're not good.
I know, Steelers and Browns. But then again, I think this is going to be an absolute dogfight. Excuse the Browns reference. But the Browns, again, they look good. It's been up and down. Baker Mayfield throwing 4 picks is terrible, but that's probably the best 4-pick game I've ever seen, which is, pretty funny.
They've stayed in it.
Yeah, and then the Steelers, again, like we talked about earlier when we were doing the Chiefs game, Deontay Johnson got intimidated and dropped the ball, so we'll see. But that's kind of been a pretty classic trend within Steelers receivers of just dropping a lot of passes. This is a tough one, Dylan. I want you to pick first.
All right. I'm going to go and it's for no other reason than the fact that I think
Say it again.
Oh, sorry. I'm going to go with the Browns.
Okay. I'm going to go with the Browns also.
It's for really no other reason than the fact that I think the Steelers are completely defeated right now.
Yeah.
They just went out into a huge playoff game in their home stadium without Travis. It was in Arrowhead. Oh. Yeah. Well, either way, they went in huge playoff scenario game without Travis Kelce, without Harrison Butker, without a couple of other pieces on their team. And they just got absolutely rampaged. Big Ben, I think he was crying on the bench. He looked defeated.
Yeah.
And the Browns, while they lost a heartbreaker at the end, they had to go against a significantly more polished team. No, I'm not even going to say that.
I would not say that.
I'm not even going to say that, actually. But either way, the Browns put up a good fight against a team that's even maybe potentially better than the Chiefs, as crazy as that sounds. But I think an interesting thing to see, and one of our most viral things that we've had, as viral as 4 kids from Western New York can go, Eastern New York, what am I saying? But we said TJ Watt and Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
This is the matchup, and I actually think it could be a deciding factor in it, because who's going to get to the quarterback more, and who's going to be able to escape that quarterback pressure? We know who's not going to be able to, and that is the tree potato. So we're going to go with the Browns. I think both of us, yeah.
All right, well, I hope you guys did enjoy, as always.
The tree potato is Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah, do make sure, as always, that you guys do like, subscribe, follow us on social media. And again, a ton of podcasts. We're starting to become a channel where we will still do our regular videos where we record regular videos, but podcasts will start to becoming a lot more. Obviously, they're a ton of fun to do. So we hope you guys do enjoy that. A ton of clips will be coming this week. A ton of content. I'm telling you guys, with the podcast, we post almost 2 clips a day. Live stream today. Remember, go back in time. And this is Cian McDermott and Dylan Shalom. Our Week 17 predictions. Week 18 will be the best one. Don't worry. But crazy, we're going to do playoff predictions soon, which is fun.
We're getting there.
Yeah. But without further ado, see you in the next video. Make sure you guys subscribe. We'll see you next time.